Last year, at the end of September of 2022, I reviewed this epic, what was $30 for me at least, BSP D3 gaming controller. And my final thoughts on the thing at the end, if you watched that video, were that it was kind of a junky, cheap controller, only because I could not figure out how to get it set up. Plus, I had a joystick problem, which, as you can see on the left-hand side, I kind of fixed. I had to actually take this apart and grind out the plastic around the joystick so that it would actually move around. That seems like a big flaw. Plus, just the feel of the thing in my hands, it felt like it was cheap. Yes, it was cheap to buy. But then you could buy, at the time, a Game Seer for about the double the price, and it had a lot better internals, a lot better specs in regards to what the Game Seer could do compared to this thing. Now, when I ended up taking a look at it, testing out a whole bunch of things like how to actually set it up for multiple different devices, I shared with you guys a tutorial about it, which was pretty awesome because that tutorial has helped almost 60,000 of you on the channel, which I did not think was going to be the case at any time or day in that matter. Probably one of the biggest videos on my channel, minus anything to do with my R4 card stuff, of course. That being said, today we're going to find out how well this thing still performs after having it for about a year. I've heard some sad stories about people having issues with it not working anymore. I've heard some stories about people basically saying they can't get it connected to their device. And it's a cheap device. When you buy cheap, you're going to get cheap in a sense. Now, that being said, there are a lot of other gamers out there that have backed this thing and said it's amazing for what it is, of course, and that is just crazy. Like, it's a $30, at least $30 Canadian for me. I bought it on AliExpress. Some of you said you bought it for $10, and maybe that's $10 USD after conversion, after shipping. Probably still comes out to about $28, $30. And again, I don't care about the price. It's under a $30 device controller, and as you can see, I'm playing Super Mario Bros on the Citra for Android and 2.2 version, and it's playing quite well. To be honest, I am not gonna complain. I haven't really played with this device too much, just because I had the other devices. I also had my Retroid come in, and I played that. And then I was like, well, I'm going to check this thing out again, because I wonder if it even turns on anymore. I turned it on, and it does. It was actually, I don't know how, but it was still had some battery life to it. But I let it charge overnight. I even did a video the other day about finding out how to actually set up your M1 and M2 buttons on the back, which was something that nobody could figure out. I don't know if anybody else figured it out. But that being said, this little device with its kind of dome style, soft, mashy, mushy, whatever you want to call it, buttons with the A, B, X, and Y, and the, I don't know if they want to call this a D-pad or not. The only thing I don't like is the clickiness of the back buttons. These back buttons, they're pretty clicky. But when it comes to the actual buttons right here, you can barely hear them. Of course, when you click on a joystick, it's going to be clicky. That being said, I have multiple different Android gaming devices or mobile gaming console controllers, whatever you want to call them, like the Razer Kishi V2, the VX gaming controller. It's Bluetooth as well, and it kind of looks like this thing in a sense, but it's got better joysticks, but it's still super clicky. A good old Xbox controller with Bluetooth and a little adapter that is broken, so it doesn't actually work anymore. The Game Seer I think this was the X2 model, and that's a USB Type-C kind of controller as well. The Evo VR, which has a little switch out to put your device in, which only, I don't know who would want to use that. I had these kind of controllers for years. And then this thing. I don't know if you'd really want to call this a controller, but it's basically a controller. That being said, do you guys think this controller is still the best handheld mobile gaming controller of 2022 to 2023? Have you owned one of these? Do you still play with it every day? Does it break on you after an hour? Does it die on you after 5 minutes? Well, I think it's been about 5 minutes since I played this, so I don't think it's died yet. Where did you get yours from? That's a whole bunch of questions that I kind of had for everybody, because it seems like you can get these almost anywhere, even on Amazon. Amazon sells them for like $10 more than what I paid for them, or for it. And does it hold up? Does it do what it needs to do? Is it cheap? Is it good for anybody that doesn't want to spend a fortune on a Razer Kishi or a Backbone? Yeah, I would say so. We just played the same level twice for whatever reason, and my hand's not cramping. The buttons feel nice, and it didn't die, and everything worked out the way it should be. Have a nice day, guys. Hope you enjoy. If you'd like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Next time, we're gonna have a battle between this one and the Razer Kishi V2.